5 friends, John, Mark, Sarah, Emily, and Alex, receive an invitation to a new restaurant called the Black Cauldron that has just opened in town. Intrigued by the mysterious atmosphere and the promise of exquisite cuisine, they decide to make reservations for dinner that evening. Little do they know that their decision will lead them down a path of terror and despair. As they enter the restaurant, the friends are immediately struck by the eerie ambiance, dim lighting, flickering candles, and an unsettling silence that hangs heavy in the air. The host, a tall figure cloaked in shadow, leads them to their table in the corner of the room, where they are greeted by a menu written in a language they do not recognize. Ignoring their unease, they order their meals and settle in for what they hope will be a memorable dining experience. As the friends wait for their food to arrive, they engage in idle conversation, trying to shake off the sense of foreboding that lingers in the air. But when their meals finally arrive, they are horrified to discover that the dishes are filled with strange, unidentifiable meats and bizarre ingredients. Despite their misgivings, they reluctantly begin to eat, their hunger outweighing their fear. As they consume their meal, the friends begin to feel strange sensations creeping over them. A creeping numbness in their limbs, a tightening in their chests, and an overwhelming sense of dread that washes over them like a tidal wave. Panic sets in as they realize that something is terribly wrong. But before they can react, they succumb to the darkness that envelops them, their screams echoing through the empty restaurant. When they awaken, the friends find themselves in a nightmarish world, unlike anything they have ever seen. A twisted labyrinthine maze filled with grotesque creatures and malevolent spirits. As they struggle to find a way out, they uncover the truth behind the Black Cauldron, a cursed restaurant that feeds on the souls of its patrons, trapping them in an endless cycle of agony and despair. With their lives hanging in the balance, the friends must band together to confront the darkness that threatens to consume them and find a way to escape before it's too late. With their strength waning and their spirits broken, the friends make one final, desperate attempt to escape from the clutches of the Black Cauldron. Battling against insurmountable odds, they push forward, driven by the hope of freedom and the promise of redemption. But as they near the exit, they are confronted by the restaurant's malevolent owner, a sinister figure who will stop at nothing to claim their souls for his own. In a final showdown between good and evil, the friends must summon every last ounce of courage and resilience to defeat their enemy and break free from the nightmare that has consumed them. As they emerge from the darkness of the Black Cauldron and into the light of day, the friends are shaken to their core by the horrors they have witnessed. But as they gather together, battered but unbowed, they realize that their ordeal has forged a bond stronger than any they have known before. With newfound determination, they vow to never forget the horrors they have faced and to live each day to the fullest, cherishing the precious gift of life that they have fought so hard to reclaim.
5 friends, Alex, David, Mark, Sarah, and Rachel, receive an invitation to dine at a mysterious restaurant called The Last Supper. Intrigued by the enigmatic name, they agree to meet there for dinner. As they arrive, they notice that the restaurant is strangely deserted, with an eerie atmosphere hanging in the air. Inside the restaurant, they are greeted by a peculiar waiter named Mr. Blackwood, who leads them to a secluded table in the back. He serves them a sumptuous meal but remains strangely silent, his eyes darting around the room as if he's hiding something. As the friends dig into their meal, they begin to notice strange occurrences, flickering lights, shadowy figures moving in the corners of the room, and a chill that seems to permeate the air. Despite their unease, they dismiss these signs as mere coincidences and continue eating. As the night wears on, Mr. Blackwood reveals that the Last Supper is not just a restaurant, but a place where the sins of the past come back to haunt the guilty. He informs the friends that they have been chosen to atone for their past misdeeds, and that they must confess their sins or face the consequences. One by one, the friends confess their darkest secrets: betrayal, deceit, greed, and murder. But as they do, they realize that there is something far more sinister at play. Mr. Blackwood reveals himself to be a vengeful spirit, hell-bent on punishing the guilty and claiming their souls for eternity. Terrified, the friends attempt to flee the restaurant, but they find themselves trapped in a nightmarish maze of corridors and hidden passages. As they struggle to find a way out, they are pursued by malevolent spirits intent on dragging them down to hell. With each passing moment, their chances of escape grow slimmer, and they must confront the horrors of their past if they hope to survive. In a desperate bid for survival, the friends confront Mr. Blackwood in the heart of the restaurant. With the help of a mysterious amulet they find hidden beneath the floorboards, they manage to banish the vengeful spirit back to the depths of hell. But as they emerge from the restaurant, they realize that they have been forever changed by their ordeal, and the sins of the past will continue to haunt them for the rest of their days. In the end, they vow to live each day with the knowledge that their actions have consequences and that redemption is not easily earned. In the heart of New York City's bustling restaurant scene, 5 friends, Jack, Matt, Sarah, Rachel, and Alex, gather for a long-awaited dinner at an upscale eatery. The reservation was made weeks in advance, and anticipation runs high as they enter the dimly lit dining room, the aroma of gourmet cuisine wafting through the air. As the friends settle into their seats, they can't shake the feeling that something is amiss. The restaurant is eerily quiet, the usual hum of conversation replaced by a tense silence. The waitstaff move with an unnatural stiffness, their smiles strained and their eyes hollow. Despite their unease, the friends brush it off as pre-dinner jitters and focus on perusing the menu. As the meal progresses, the friends notice something unsettling about the food. It tastes off, almost metallic, with a strange aftertaste that lingers on their tongues. They exchange worried glances but say nothing, not wanting to ruin the evening. But as they continue to eat, they begin to feel increasingly nauseous, their stomachs churning with discomfort. Suddenly, Sarah pushes her plate away, her face pale and drawn. She reveals that she overheard the waitstaff whispering in the kitchen rumors of straying disappearances and mysterious deaths surrounding the restaurant. The friends exchange panicked looks, realizing they may be in danger. But before they can leave, the doors to the restaurant slam shut, trapping them inside. As fear grips their hearts, the friends band together, determined to escape the restaurant and the horrors that lurk within. But as they search for a way out, they encounter nightmarish creatures, twisted and deformed, with eyes that gleam with hunger. With nowhere to run and no one to turn to, they must fight for their lives against an enemy they cannot comprehend. In a desperate bid for survival, the friends make a last stand against the horrors that threaten to consume them. Armed with whatever makeshift weapons they can find, they confront the creatures in a final showdown. Blood is shed, screams pierce the air, and in the end, only a few will emerge victorious. As dawn breaks over the city, the survivors emerge from the restaurant, battered and bruised but alive. They vow never to speak of the horrors they witnessed that night, knowing that no one would believe them. But as they walk away, they can't shake the feeling that they have unleashed something dark and malevolent, something that will haunt them for the rest of their days.